What's up, everybody? This is Armand DB. Today I'm going to talk about UFC 253, supposedly the biggest fight of the year, Izzy versus Costa. So obviously this was supposed to be the biggest fight and craziest fight of the year with so much hype behind it, and it didn't live up to those expectations. A few comments on the fight. I'm not a UFC commentator or expert or anything like that, but I was pretty disappointed because Costa has, in all his other fights, shown super aggression, goes after him, chases him down, and just starts, beating him hard. I think he got a little intimidated by Izzy. I don't know, how to pronounce his, full real name, but, so I was a little disappointed in the fight, and I think everybody was. So I'm not going to talk about the fight anymore. What I'm going to talk about is I haven't seen any videos or anybody really talk except this one doctor, which he was just kind of out of the loop about the video. These doctors, they try to make these videos sometimes about subjects and they don't even know what they're really even talking about. But Israel or Izzy, the fighter, I guess he's about 6'3", 185. He had a man boob, so it was just looks like a woman's boob. His tit was turning into like a woman's boob. That is called a gynomastia. Gyno, or the slang name, is called bitch tits. And everybody always says Costa is on steroids because he is, jacked and, very muscular. And when he fights and the fight goes on, he gets more pumped up and looks really muscular. Are these guys? I'm not sure. I know when Pride was going on, I don't know if some of y'all, I'm 36, so I remember Pride, but basically UFC bought out Pride, so Pride, they could take whatever they wanted. So they were big and jacked, and Pride was in Japan, and it was more exciting than the UFC. You had a lot more, energy, and the fights were just more exciting. Plus, they could take whatever they wanted to. So the UFC uses pretty strict testing. Like John Jones, he failed, I think, for T-ball, I think twice for the metabolites. That means he took it, but it was a long time ago. Or, a supplement got contaminated, which that does happen more than you think. So basically, everybody always accused Costa of, using PEDs. But I'm trying to forget, I can't remember the fighter's name. But he used to be jacked in the UFC. I mean, super big, and gosh, I can't think of his name. But he's been fighting for a while, and then I guess once they started testing more strict, he just dropped tons of muscle. The same thing with Brock Lesnar. He dropped tons of muscle when he had to fight. It just wasn't because he was doing weight cut. His whole body composition changed. So I'm not sure exactly how they do the drug testing for the UFC. I used to help out some fighters a long time ago, like with their nutrition, weight cut, they have to cut weight and make it, but instead of filling out for a look, they fill out for the best performance and their strength and all that. So I helped some fighters do that, and they got tested, but it was pretty loosely, so they could get by, and I kind of helped them what to use and all that. So there's a few ones that would be good for fighters, but I'm not going to get into that. I'm going to get into what I think Izzy used. So he came out and he had, I'm a retired ex-top bodybuilder, contest prep coach, judge. So, I've judged a lot of people on stage, and I've rarely seen people with this bad of gyno. And if for people out there that don't know what it is, basically when your body, it can happen in adolescence too, or when you're going through puberty, your body starts producing testosterone. But basically it's from taking testosterone or other drugs that raises estrogen high. And what happens is your estrogen also increases with that. So what do? You take an anti-estrogen, which is like Nolvadex, tamoxifen, Arimidex, which is anastrozole, letrozole, which is, Femara. So and that blocks the bad side effects of the steroid. So a lot of y'all might think, well, why didn't he just take one of those? Well, I believe he was taking something called testosterone suspension, also T&E, which is basically the same thing. So testosterone suspension is basically just testosterone. It's like a white milky suspended in water, and it's a painful compound to inject because it's water based. I think I think it was one of the first steroids ever, because it's just basic testosterone. I think the Nazis used it and all this crazy stuff. So it's a simple one. It's just and it's in and out of your system. I'm talking, a day. All these other compounds, they stay months. People think fast-acting compounds like Tren and Winnie and stuff like that, those compounds stay detectable for up to 7 months, 8 months, some even up to a year and a half. So they can't use anything like that. So if he was going to use anything, it would be testosterone suspension. So that has to be done daily. So what he could do in the off season and even leading up to his fight, use this compound, which is going to have him gain a lot of muscle, strength, yada, yada, yada. So when it comes around to fight day, he probably stopped, a couple days. This is my opinion, solely my opinion. I could be totally wrong, but I don't believe I am. I really believe this is what happened. I think, 2 days before, he probably quit. And, you ask, well, why didn't he take an estrogen blocker? Because that's on the ban list also. So that would have showed up because that stays in your system a lot longer. So he developed, there's no other reason. There's one, I know there's some cancer drugs that can cause that. And there's one that I took that actually I got Gyno from, which is called Propecia, and another one called Avodart, which blocks DHT, which was for some hair loss I was getting. And so that was one of the side effects. I got Gyno from it. I had to have a surgery where they cut the gland out. So basically, he had it really, really bad. I mean, if you saw, it was just like a big old hunk of titty hanging down. And they asked him in the post-fight interview what it was, and it was like, well, why y'all staring at my titties? So he got really defensive. And you could tell that, just by his demeanor, like, I just felt like, like a guilty type of deal. Like, so, a lot of these fighters are using stuff. If people believe that they're not, they are. But, there's just certain ways. It seems like the UFC is one of the hardest testing sports around. I know, they test other sports, and it's used in all sports. I mean, when I was, playing top level soccer, professional soccer players were using stuff. So performance enhancing just doesn't make you bigger. People think like, oh, he's big, he's on this. Oh, he's big, oh, he's on this. It's not, it doesn't do that. There's a lot of different ones that do different things. And some of the people I know that take the most stuff don't even look like they work out, And people were saying, oh, Costa's on stuff. Costa, because he's a very muscular guy. But he's not a massive guy. So is he? I mean, who knows? It probably, But, Izzy, he had, that big titty, like I said. And that's what I believe he was doing. So everybody was like, well, it seemed like he had some sort of injury and this and that. No, it's not an injury. It's gyno. People, the commentators and people in that world they have no clue. If it was bodybuilding, most any bodybuilder would know, hey, this is gyno from the result of, high estrogen levels from taking performance enhancing, and the only compound he could be using would be suspension, because that's the only one that would be out of his system really quick. And, that's a one you can use every day, several times a day. So, and he would benefit highly still, even though he quit 2 days before. The testosterone levels would drop down, because when you take test suspension, it's in, it's out, it's in, it's out within a day. So he would still benefit from taking it all year round. So Comment below. I usually don't make other videos, but I'm going to start branching out, making different kind of videos. I just saw that, and it was an exciting fight I was looking forward to. Unfortunately, it fell short of being exciting. And I'm a big UFC fan. I love watching the fights. I know it's kind of comparable to bodybuilding because they work so hard, and only the top few make actually a very good living. The rest, they just get the crap beat out of them, and then their career is over with, and then they have a lot of surgeries. It's kind of like bodybuilding. You get beat up a lot. Their bodies, a lot of wear and tear. So that is my thoughts on what happened with his titty. So you guys take care. Any videos y'all want me to make, comment below, comment on this video, and everybody take care.